Barbecue chicken is so tasty, and this is a very old recipe I'm going to show you. It was actually in one of my first books. So before I actually make the sauce, we're going to start and talk about the chicken. We're going to seal it off. So we are. So I'm using the corn-fed chicken here, so I am, and the board be a quality mark. So it's fed with corn, with maize. That's what gives it a lovely yellow colour and beautiful flavour. So I'm using the drumsticks and the thighs, and I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to put incisions just with a knife, just like that. Okay, so we're going to put these onto the pan. Actually, before I do, I'll just put a little bit of oil, get that nice and hot just with my other hand, and then just make the incisions there. Now if you have time, and if you wanted to, you could do this ahead. You could actually make up your barbecue sauce, pour it over your chicken, have it marinating. It's not the way I've done it, but you can certainly do it. There's loads of different ways you can do it. You can pre-cook your drumsticks and your thighs and then finish it off on an actual barbecue. So I'll show you the sauce in a moment. Pan is nice and hot, just turn it down. So I'm making these incisions just with a good sharp knife. So trim off any excess fat. Chicken thighs, they're one of my favourite cuts. And I love the drumsticks. Now you can do this with chicken breasts. So with the thigh it's a little bit different. You make little, kind of like 3 little incisions in there with the actual knife, and then we're going to put this onto the pan. Really nice hot pan, skin side down, and then we wash the hands and we make the sauce. It's really quick, really simple, and I think full of flavour. So that's the last one there. Okay, so if you can try and get the corn fed, it really is excellent quality chicken. We're going to put this and then we'll season it. So I'll put it, if you can see that there, that's the scored chicken, just made with the little kind of incisions to the knife. Nice hot pan, see the way that's smoking? It's exactly what you want to hear as soon as it goes on. And then our drumsticks. So I'll just move my board out of the way, wash my hands, especially after handling raw meat. Okay, we'll put a little bit of butter and a wee bit of salt just onto our chicken. So turn up the heat there. So I'm not looking to cook it, I'm just looking to really to seal it in. Now, when you're cooking even chicken on its own, a little bit of oil. I've used the rapeseed oil. This is from Derrycarman, County Louth. It's an Irish produced oil. So it's a rapeseed oil, and I really like the flavour of it. You get a really nice high smoke temperature. They're really good people. A little bit of salt. And then of course, some butter. You know me and the butter. So a nice little couple of pieces of butter goes in there. Okay. So I'm just going to seal that in there. Get a little bit of colour. Shake the pan, just let that cook away. Okay, first thing for our barbecue sauce is we're going to crush in some garlic. A couple of cloves of garlic. Just put 2 in there. It's going to go into the bowl. Just crush them and scrape them down. So this is a sauce you can make ahead, and I recommend you make double this recipe because it keeps for weeks in your fridge. Some root ginger. So this is the skin, the ginger, with the skin on. You just simply peel it with the back of a spoon or a knife, and then that's what you have there. A good tip for you, if you do this with ginger, is to wrap it in cling film and throw it into your freezer. So watch the fingers when you're grating this. Now I'm a big fan of ginger. So this is lovely and sweet and sour and sticky and has gorgeous flavour. Now just watch the fingers. So see the way I'm putting the kind of grater on the bowl. So it's taking the pressure, that's really important. I'm going to do the same for the orange. And this is where you get lovely acidity. Now orange, you need to be careful. I've definitely used to make this and we used to put 2 or 3 oranges in it. It's too much. So 1 orange is definitely enough. You'd be surprised how strong actually the flavour of orange is. So before I add anything else, I just want to have a little look at the chicken. I'm going to flip this over. Gorgeous, getting a little bit of colour. So we're starting the cooking process. And of course, you can see everything is on the bone. So there's always more flavour, so there is. That's lovely. Gorgeous, very happy with that. Okay, now into the bowl then, we're going to put the juice of the orange. Okay, just remove any of the little seeds that are there. And then we're going to squeeze this in. And same for this. There seem to be lovely juicy oranges. Now you can use lemon, you can use lime, you can use whatever citrus fruit you want to use. You don't have to use orange, but I think orange works really well. So I'm going to juice this in here. So that's 1/2, and then for the other half. This is all going into the bowl. So I have garlic, I have ginger in that, and you can use as much or as little garlic as you want to. Just going to turn down the pan because I actually want to bake this in the oven. I don't want it cooked in that. Okay, we're going to put some Worcester sauce into it. So I'm going to put in roughly about a spoonful of that. I'd say you love the way I measure everything. So this gives lovely, lovely savoury flavour to the actual barbecue sauce. Tomato ketchup is going to go in here. Plenty of this. And I love a vinegar in it, so I'm using some of the balsamic vinegar from the Simply Better collection. It's just a 3-year-old balsamic. You could use cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever you want to, and I think this gives a lovely richness. It's really, really good in this. Okay. Now, for sweetness, I am going to put in some honey. So I'm going to drizzle in some honey. I did have a spoon beside me to weigh everything, so if you work roughly about 2 to 3 spoonfuls of each, you're better off to make extra and taste it. That's really important. Sweet chili sauce. These two products are made from an Irish company. They're called Full On Foods, and this is the sweet chili sauce which we're going to use. Gives a nice bit of a kick. It's not too spicy, this. And then this is our ginger and also our soya. So there's a lovely kind of an Asian twist into this. Now, sesame seeds. I love sesame seeds. I think they work really well in this. Roughly about a tablespoon. That goes in there. And if you want to get it really nice and spicy, a couple of suggestions. Harissa spice. These spices are excellent. They're made in Athlone from Oko. You could use that, or you could use the Cajun spice. And on my Instagram page and Facebook, we've done a lovely Cajun chicken melt. Look that recipe up using that spice. It really is excellent. So that's everything there. A little touch of salt goes in there. And then we mix this all together. And then I'm going to I'll probably pour half of this over the chicken. So if we look at the chicken, you can drain off that oil if you want to. Okay, you can drain off quite a bit of oil there. So I might just take a little bit of that oil just out of there. Just put it in to my bowl because I've no more butter. That's good. So I've just sealed in the chicken. It's still raw. Now, blast it up, and then we're going to coat it with this beautiful barbecue sauce. So a little tip for you just with the barbecue sauce, you can keep it in a little kindler jar. That's what I would do because there's garlic in it and it keeps for weeks. So we'll just pour some of this. It's going to be a wee bit noisy. I have a little bit extra made and I'm happy about that. Always make extra because it keeps. And then this is really, really important. So we'll just bring this just very quickly to the boil. And then you need to baste it for a minute and then it goes into the oven. But I have a really good tip for you. When you're doing this in the oven or baking it in the oven, use some parchment paper. It's a non-stick silicone paper. It's going to save you on the wash up. You are going to thank me, trust me. So I'll just make a little bit of room here. So just to recap, in the barbecue sauce there was ginger, garlic in it. Okay, we also put some zest and juice of orange. We put some honey for sweetness. You could use maple syrup. We use some Worcester sauce. That's a really lovely Worcester sauce to use. Balsamic vinegar, tomato ketchup, and then these two lovely dressings here, the Simply Better soya and ginger and the sweet chili sauce. So with a spoon, everyone, you just literally get the sauce and you spoon it over. So this is what we call basting. So say you wanted to do these actually on a barbecue, you could start off your chicken thighs in the oven for about maybe 15 minutes and then you brush this, keep brushing this onto your chicken on the barbecue. This will get sticky, it'll caramelize, it'll be incredibly moist, and imagine if you even marinated this overnight. It would actually penetrate into the chicken. So you can experiment with that. You can use chicken breasts, you can use pork chops, you can use bacon medallions. It works really well, even with a piece of steak, or you can do little skewers of beef. So this is just a really, really simple sauce. And remember the tip, don't put too much orange in. Definitely can be very overpowering. So the chicken is still raw. I'm going to transfer it now in a moment onto here. I'm going to use the tongs to do that. Parchment paper, you're going to thank me for this. And we're just going to literally put this onto my oven-proof dish. So arrange the chicken thighs and then the drumsticks. So you make that incisions there. This is going to take in the oven. Well, I have some in there already. I'll just switch that off. I have my chicken in the oven and it's been in for a good 25 minutes. It could take up to 30 minutes. The oven is preheated at 180, so it's a really nice hot oven. And then I'm going to pour all this over. So if you just watch this here, gorgeous. So all that lovely sesame seeds. So remember, just don't put it into the oven and leave it. You got to go maybe every 5-6 minutes. Just get a spoon. I'll just show you very quickly, and then you just literally spoon that over. That's what you call basting. Okay. So that parchment paper is gonna keep it all really nice and moist and stop it from burning or caramelizing, as we say. Okay, I'm going to pop this into the oven. I already have one done. So about 25-30 minutes should be done. And you'll know it. You'll know when you test the chicken. Oh my God. Are you ready for this? It's hot. It's sticky. It's what we want from our barbecue chicken. Look at this. Now I'm going to get a clean spoon. You can see the way. Look at that. Just spoon that over there. I love when it kind of caramelizes like that. So you know I'm a big fan of sesame seeds. You don't have to use sesame seeds, but I think they add great texture to it. So they do. The garlic, the ginger, all that lovely dressing is just so tasty. And the fact that it keeps, like in a Kindler jar, airtight container, doesn't matter. So we'll just serve this up. So what would I serve with this? Salad, coleslaw, chips, you name it. Bit of rice. You know, it can be a lovely dish on its own. So can you see that there, Mel? Look at lovely and caramelized, exactly what I want. So that's the chicken thighs. And I think, you know, meat on the bone like this, good quality Irish chicken, the corn-fed for me wins hands down, is just so important and so delicious. You're going to get really good flavor cooking anything on the bone. It takes longer, it definitely does. You can use the skinless chicken fillets, you can use skinless and boneless chicken thighs, but I always do this if I can on the bone. And it's not too spicy, so if you want to jazz it up with different spices, don't be afraid to use them. You can have it as spicy. You could use lime in this, you could use lemon in this, and I'm spooning all this beautiful sauce. So it's very, very hot. Be careful. You might be really hungry and mad keen to go and get stuck into this, but a nice crisp green salad with maybe some tomato, something like that for acidity would work really well with this. Baked potato, some potato wedges. Making you hungry. Mel is licking her lips there. So that is my chicken there, everyone. My barbecue chicken with the sesame seeds, and it's kind of like sweet and sour. I think this is just such a lovely, delicious recipe. For me, the star of the show was starting off with good quality chicken. Try this dressing here. We'll put up the recipe on the Facebook and Instagram over the next couple of days. And yeah, enjoy this and happy cooking. And look at Mella. See how clean this dish is? Look at. So that is a lot of less cleaning for you. So remember that tip, parchment paper. You'll be thanking me for this recipe. So enjoy this, everyone. Happy cooking. And yeah, thanks for everything.